Man's greatest need is to believe in himself, in what he is doing, and in his ultimate destiny. Self-reliance, or self-confidence, finds its greatest outlet when it is accompanied by a belief that the real self of man is God, and that with God all things are possible. Shakespeare spoke about the divinity which shapes your ends, rough hew it how you will. The Bible gives the key to building spiritual self-reliance. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to God must first believe that God is, and that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Down through the ages, all men and women who have possessed spiritual self-reliance have had a deep, abiding conviction that they were one with the God-presence within. God is the living Spirit within you. God is Spirit, and they that worship him in spirit and in truth. His Spirit has no face, form, or figure. It's timeless, shapeless, and ageless. You worship no man. You give your attention, your devotion, your loyalty to the Spirit within you, which created the universe and created you. It's all-powerful, knows all, and sees all. When you're in tune with it, that infinite power responds to you, and you do marvelous things. Great men down through the ages were sure of themselves, without being aggressive, egotistical, or intolerant. Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Lao Tzu, Confucius, Muhammad, many others accomplished the so-called impossible through the absolute conviction that they could do what they set out to do through the divine power which strengthened and inspired them. They were all men, born like you were. You can accomplish little in this world without faith. The farmer, when he plants his seed, has faith in the science of agriculture. The chemist has faith in the laws and principles of chemistry. The doctor has faith in his knowledge of anatomy, physiology, materia medica, and pharmacology. He has faith in his skill as a surgeon. The engineer has implicit faith in the laws of mathematics, stress and strain, and other principles of the universe. And he builds a building according to scientific laws which existed before any man walked this earth, or before any church was ever formed. You can have the same abiding faith in the laws of your own mind, which are the same yesterday, today, and forever. A man is living in the dark ages who thinks that the principles of chemistry and physics and mathematics are different than the principles and laws operating in his own mind. These mental and spiritual laws are just as dependable and undeviating as the laws of gravitation, Boyle's law, or Avogadro's law. We know for a fact that think good, good follows. Think evil, and evil follows. If you think of yourself as a failure and you picture failure, you will fail. Think of success, realize you're born to succeed and to win, for the infinite cannot fail. Picture yourself successful, happy, and free, and you will be. Whatever you think and feel as true in your conscious mind is embodied in your subconscious and comes to pass into your experience. That's the law of mind, undeviating, immutable, timeless, and changeless. We're not talking about faith in creeds or dogmas or traditions or any religious persuasion. We're talking about faith in your own thought, in your own feeling, in the laws of your own mind, in the goodness of God in the land of the living. Faith in that creative intelligence which responds to your thought. You can have faith that you're going to be ill when exposed to a draft, or that you will catch the virus, or a severe cold because someone sneezes in your presence. You can have faith that you will fail, but your faith is in the wrong thing, isn't it? And your business ventures will turn out badly. A woman once said to me, for 10 years I had absolute faith I would be alone through life. No one would marry me, and I would be poor and miserable. Then she said, I read a book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, a book I wrote many years ago, and I applied the prayers outlined. Now I am happily married, have a marvelous husband, and have been blessed with 3 lovely children. This woman reversed her faith in the negative to a joyous expectancy of the best in all phases of her life. Fear is faith in the wrong thing. Fear is faith upside down. Have faith in the goodness of God in the land of the living. Have faith in divine love. Have faith in the healing presence which made you to heal you. The law of this woman's mind responded to her belief, for the law of life is the law of belief. What do you believe in? To believe is to accept something as true. Believe in whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure. Whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, believe in these things. The first step in building self-reliance or self-confidence is to believe that infinite power within you, which grows hair on your face, which digests your food, grows your nails when you are sound asleep, and grows hair on your head. It watches over you when you are sound asleep. It governs your heartbeat, and all the vital organs of your body, and all the processes of your body are controlled by that infinite intelligence. That's what we're talking about. For example, if you cut yourself, it heals you. If you burn yourself, it reduces the edema, gives you new tissue and skin. It always seeks to heal you. That's the life principle in you. And you know you're alive. You know you have a mind. And you know you have that spirit, because you can feel the spirit of joy, of rapture, and ecstasy, and love when you look into your child's eye. All these are invisible, yet they're real. So believe in that infinite power within you. Recognize and know that the self of you is God. That's your higher self, the living spirit within you, that was never born, will never die. Water wets it not, fire burns it not, wind blows it not away. It's eternal. It is the very life principle in you, through you, and all around you. The second step is to commune regularly with this infinite presence and power, and have a vision, realizing you go where your vision is. And your vision is what you're mentally looking at, what you're giving attention to, what you're thinking quietly, silently, and feelingly at this moment. That's where you're going, and that's what's going to happen to you. Let your vision be on abundance, right action, inspiration, and divine guidance. And you will become like the perennial mountain of snow, which, when melted by the heat of the sun, flows downward like a river of life, giving nourishment and sustenance to the valleys. What difference does it make if you have floundered and failed many times, now that you know the divine presence indwells you, and that the infinite intelligence and infinite power and the infinite life principle is the God presence within you? You know it responds to you. It wants you to be happy. Stir up that divine gift within you. Wake up the sleeping giant within you. Trust that creative intelligence within you, more so even than you ever trusted your human father or mother. When the thought comes to you, I cannot do this, affirm. But the divine presence can. It's infinite presence. It's the infinite power. There's nothing to oppose it or challenge it. It is almighty. If the thought comes, look at all the difficulties and obstructions. Realize and know. And say boldly to yourself, infinite intelligence and infinite power knows no obstructions, delays, or impediments. Find an affirmation which counteracts all your negations, and your life will become more blessed and beautiful through the years. You will find your obstructions and challenges will be transformed into opportunities. Your fear will turn to faith, and your doubt will turn into certainty that the infinite healing presence is within you, and wonders happen as you tune in upon it. Recently, I had an intensely interesting conversation with a hotel proprietor in Lisbon, Portugal. He told me that he had started out as a waiter in a small restaurant. When the boss would ask him to do something special, he would often say, I am going to try to do it. His boss finally said to him, never say, I'm going to try. Say, I am going to do it. And know that you can do it, and then the power will respond to you. He said, I profited from that advice, and I never again said, I'm going to try. I began to believe in myself. I know that infinite power indwells me, for the Bible says the kingdom of God or intelligence is within you. His secret was, I'm going to do it. He began to affirm, perhaps 1,000 times a day, I'm going to have a big hotel and own it. He believed that through the power of the infinite he would do exactly that. The answer came in a strange way, he continued. I won at roulette in Monaco, the equivalent of $100,000 in American money. I opened this hotel, and now I have paid off the mortgage. I have prospered beyond my fondest dreams. This man said he had felt an overwhelming urge to go to the tables at Monaco, and he asked a friend to accompany him and show him the ropes. He knew he would win. It was an inner silent knowing of the soul. He had fabulous winnings, and when he had enough money, $100,000 for a deposit on his hotel, he stopped and never gambled again. This was the way his subconscious mind answered his prayer for a hotel of his own. The ways of your subconscious are past finding out. Money is just an idea, a symbol of exchange. There is nothing evil in the universe, and nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Good and evil are the movements of man's own mind, relative to the infinite life principle within him, which is forever perfect, whole and complete in itself. Make up your mind now, this minute, that you can do what you want to do, and can be what you sincerely want to be, and can have what you wish to possess. And it will be done to you as you believe. Follow the age-old maxim. Be sure you are right, then go ahead. Let nothing move you or shake your conviction. Make it a part of your mentality. And with this kind of belief, you will inevitably succeed and move forward in life. What is it that the immensely wealthy man or the prominent businessman possesses that you do not? Only one thing. It is self-reliance or self-confidence. He believes in himself and the powers within him, both of which, of course, mean the same thing. Self-reliance or self-confidence are one. Confidence means with faith, faith in a principle, in the powers of your mind, just like an engineer has faith in the principles of mathematics, faith in the principle of strain and stress. You meet men and women who have reached the top of their professions. They're successful in the art of living. They have marvelous homes. They have wonderful children. They're contributing to humanity in countless ways. They're successful in their prayer life, relationship with the divine, relationship with people. All this is due to their implicit trust and faith in that inner power within them. They place their whole reliance on that infinite guiding principle, on the divine love and the divine protection in all ways. Their words, actions, demeanor, and general attitude radiate power and confidence, and thus win you respect the first time you meet them. Last year I interviewed a man at Hilo, Hawaii. He was very wealthy, but he sadly said to me, "I'm nobody. No one cares for me." Frankly, no one did, for the simple reason that he did not respect or care for the self within him. He was down on himself, and if you're cruel or mean to yourself, others will be cruel and mean to you, for as within, so without. This man was down on himself, even though he had vast holdings of real estate and large bank deposits. I explained to him that he was constantly criticizing and belittling himself, and that doing that, others must treat him the same way, and that if he expected to accomplish precisely nothing of himself, neither would anyone expect any more of him. For as within, so without. The inside controls the outside. I pointed out to him that the riches of the infinite were within him and all around him. Shakespeare said, "All things be ready, if the mind be sold." All he had to do was to call on the infinite presence and power, and it would respond to his thought. He began to use some of the great eternal truths of the Bible, which I outlined for him as follows. "Know ye not that ye are the temple of the living God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall make plain thy paths. Trust him, believe in him, and he shall bring it to pass." This is the way the Lord had created you. Rejoice and be glad that that infinite being created you. And know it is always with you. And it's capable of healing you, restoring you, vitalizing and energizing you. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. God in the midst of you is healing you now. God is spirit, and they that worship him in spirit and in truth. His spirit has no face, form, or figure. It's timeless, shapeless, and ageless. You worship no man. You give your attention, your devotion, your loyalty to the spirit within you, which created the universe and created you. It's all-powerful, knows all, and sees all. When you're in tune with it, that infinite power responds to you, and you do marvelous things.